Hello, welcome back to Minecraft with Justin and Ulam. I have gotten quite a bit accomplished, as you can see also from the thumbnail. I went ahead and went into spectator mode, pulled the camera way up, and took a new overhead shot. I plan on infrequently, but certainly after I feel a major change has occurred in the village, doing a new shot for the thumbnail. That way you can sort of see the progression through the thumbnails of the village's progress. So a couple of the things that I wanted to point out were this design for the road. Initially, I was thinking I would entirely put the road on the inside track of where we had these lanterns. Oh, come on, I picked the worst time to start, the showcase. But I found that especially over here in this corner, if I had done that, there would have been like only a 4 wide area in the middle, which would just absolutely not fit almost any of the buildings. I did go ahead and put down the measurements that we're looking for on paper, and yeah, definitely there's none of them where a 4 width or depth would have worked. Honestly, the 6 that I was able to expand it to looks like would still not fit many. There's a few buildings that should be okay in this sort of... Did I not? Oh, okay. I thought I rested and must have looked away after I clicked. But now that it is once again day, and hopefully I did that before anything could spawn in the village, I took away the cows' pasture here. You may notice them. You don't see them right now, but I think they've moved over here. There we are. Yeah, so they're just sort of wandering the village right now. There's also a sheep over here somewhere, if I can find it to show you, that I found wandering around right over here. He was wandering around just outside the village, and seeing as how we will be needing some sheep for the loom guy, Taylor again, I think it was, went ahead and brought that one in. We left these 5 buildings, technically 6 if you count the snow, but right now that snow building is also going away. I took away the other snow and ice buildings, so that other one, just because I am currently using it as my home here in the village, I went ahead and left it, but it will be getting replaced with one of these proper wooden buildings eventually. I did go ahead and, as you can see, did the entire perimeter. The first thing that I had to do was adjust some of where the fence line was in order to make the math with the fence posts most optimal. So, let's see. I think previously I had the fence line like right here. So, this ended up actually expanding us a pretty good amount in most directions. I think we also went out this direction just a little bit extra. So there'll be a little bit more room for buildings in the middle, which will be handy. The elevation could prove complicating. We'll have to work around that and, dig buildings like into hills where I can, or rather where I need to. I expanded this lake area a little bit. With a bucket and dirt, I can change how big or small it needs to be later if it turns out this is too big, or, I doubt it's going to be too small. I also went ahead and did this start of a bridge. I say start, I'm not sure that I want it to be too much more complicated than it already is. I would kind of like not to have this top block there, but if I don't, then this lower one actually has the ability to gather snow on it, and then that's the only part of the bridge that can have snow, which looks weird. So, I did notice, going back and forth between the testing area and this one, that this house is probably... This is not one of the building types that I was planning on utilizing, so this one is probably just completely going to be going away. I'll be stripping it for materials and then using those materials in places, certainly. Whereas I think this house over here is not even a house. I'm not sure. This one could be pretty close to how I had the toolsmith. I think this might be the correct version. So this one I think will be staying, and like it and the Fletcher and the other ones that are the correct model of house but don't have my alterations. I'm still a little bit on the fence as to how much of my alterations I'm going to bother with adding to them. Like, for instance, this one's clearly pretty close to what we had, but it doesn't, turns out it does not actually have that weird roofing pattern that I had added. So, how much I'm going to bother with changing up, especially roofs. Interiors are definitely slated for a lot of change, and then this one's also like that first house. This was a model that I didn't like, mainly as you can see, because this is one of like 3 building types they had, where the edge of the roof just comes all the way straight down and then becomes a wall, and I didn't really like how that felt, so I took out that style of small house and went only with the other one, so we'll have to work around that. I have put in this interior road that cuts all the way across and then goes from the front of the Fletchers straight across to that wall. And I think I actually went ahead and, yeah, shifted the gate in this fence over one, so that, because I actually had it like almost right where it needed to be directly in line with this, but now it is directly in line. You can see over here that, as I said I would do, I went ahead and just swapped the weird dirt structure for a trapdoor, because, boop, as long as you close it before you head in, it's not like any villagers are going to get in here and cause an issue. And I think that's, oh, well, that's almost it. I also went ahead and moved the bell a few paces over. So now this is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we are. I thought I miscounted. So yeah, this is now in the proper place, and I decided that this is going to be the position from which we have the big meeting area. I did, as you can see, also take out the farms. So unfortunately, right now, I think I may have some of the wheat left, but in doing all this, I kind of ate all the potatoes that had been grown. So, oh no, I still had some. That's actually quite a few. I must have just eaten all the ones I'd already baked. Alright, so next on the agenda then, as you can see, there's a lot of these areas that, okay, so something like this has just, you know, lucked out and not gotten snow to fall on it, but a lot of these areas where I do have lanterns, you can already start to see some of the area that they prevent snow from falling, which is just going to be an unfortunate reality. In retrospect, if I had it to do over at this point, I maybe would have just opted for a different village type so that we didn't need to bother with all this snow, but it should still be fine. Let's see. So, some of the things I want to be doing now during the episode are trying to figure out what building types will go where. So, if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across, as I thought. Well, would I want it facing out this way? Because I'm kind of thinking with the rest of the village out here, I would actually have this be the front of the medium house. So, as I think about, let's see, so if we did put the temple here, which is 11 deep, it's 9 in width. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Should mean we could push it out 1. Yeah. The issue with putting the temple in here would be that we'd kind of need the entrance to be on the other side, because the entrance was always in the center of the front, which would mean, well, okay, not always, but it was with all the regular ones that aren't the fishing hut and the armorsmith and the blacksmith. Those three buildings had non-centered ones. Let's see, what was the libraries? That's 11 by 7. So if the library reached all the way back, but was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4 extra spots, then I'd move it over 2. Yeah, it looks like no matter what, part of the issue is that unless I, like, I could move, no, because I want this to follow the outside, so yeah, it seems no matter what, whatever this building over here is going to be, I'm going to want it to be something that faces out this direction. Put these two here. There we are. So that, I mean, those are a little unnecessary in terms of providing light. They're mostly going to be here for identifying where that is, which will be, yep, now directly across from where the entrance to the temple will be then, which, as I said, was 9 by 11, so that'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Of course, these dimensions won't matter at all once the first snowfall, or these little markings I'm putting, will go away entirely with the first snowfall. So that's a potential place for the temple. Let's see, with this going away entirely, we have plenty of room in here. Although, I will have to be somewhat creative about use of space here. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wide. If I wanted it to directly border this, which, I don't know, maybe, maybe not. And then over here, let's see. And there's one other interesting note about trying to build next to roads, but also with these inclines. Because, as you can see, all the paths are that tiniest, like 1 pixel indentation shallower than everything beside them. I don't like the look of having any path blocks that are open to the air on more than just this one side like this. So, in every instance, wherever there wasn't a 4th block on either side of them, or I guess a 5th block on either side of them, I put one in, which means that while I might be willing to like dig away this one for a building's wall, I really wouldn't want to put a building's wall right here, which means that technically I can't really count both those spaces, and a building would only really be able to count from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and could only be, again, 9 deep. Let's see. Let's see if I can make a dozen or so signposts. Do not know if I already have the formula for them. Oh, they're going to be under decoration, aren't they? Here we are. Alright, well, not oak sign, spruce sign. Oh. Alright, so that's 6 planks, 1 of those, so should have plenty of sticks for the job. We're getting a little low on spruce logs, though, because, yeah, I don't think I have any extra in there, so we're going to be needing to chop some down pretty soon. But let's go ahead and put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whoop. Put 1 of those back. Turn all those into spruce. That's not going to be enough. Alright, fine, we'll take half the stack. There we are. Split, split, split. This is really not very efficient, now is it? Let's see, and then close enough for right now. I need... Oh, no, actually, yeah. There's really no point in jumping to that right now. We just need a lot more logs, so if you'll pardon me for a moment, I'll go collect some more. 15 divided by 3 would be 5. So yeah, let's actually only make 6. There we go. Alright, so went ahead and made, that's 18 it looks like, which should be enough for one of every building we don't already have, plus 1 or 2 extras for like duplicates of the small farms and the small houses. So let's try to put this where the door was going to be. Let's see, so temple, and what was the dimensions on that? 11 by 9. 11, 9, might as well put the height. 11, 9, 15. Alright, and then over here, we were going to put, okay, now this one, the door is offset, but let's just go and like slap it right here. This was going to be the shepherd's house. Oh, so it's not been loom or anything like that the whole time. It's been a shepherd's house. Did I spell that right? Well, I spelled it like I did on my paper anyway. So if it's wrong there, it's wrong in both anyway. At least it's uniform. Times 10 times 6. Alright, and then over here, let's see, what was the, I was going to put the mason's house, which is an 8 by 8. And if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, if it's an even number, oh, then it's going to be one of the ones with double doors. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's in either of these spots. So mason's house, which is 8x 8x. How high is it? 7. It's almost a cube. Not quite. Alright. So with that taking up most of that space, we've got room right here for something. Especially if it goes ahead and cuts into the dirt over there in the back. Let's see. So technically, leave a space. This is the earliest we can use. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 again. So 8 across. And we'll figure out how deep based on what's available. So the butcher's shop needs 7 across. Fisher's hut is 9. A lot of these are 8 across in the, or 8 deep. But that would require the road going a different angle on that. So how else could I? Suppose if such a building had an entrance on this front, I guess we could include a foundation that just extends out into there. Although that still doesn't yield particularly great results. Well, we are closing in on about 30 minutes of recording, which I'll want to try to do what I can to cut down back to closer to 20, so we don't end up with a solid 30-minute episode like earlier this week. So I think I will go ahead and call it here. In between episodes, I'll go around doing more of this, trying to piece out where I can put certain buildings, and then eventually I'll probably also have to end up shuffling some around, maybe moving some roads. We'll see what happens. So once again, thanks for watching, and we will catch you next time. Yo, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like and leave a comment. Subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want YouTube to let you know when more uploads arrive. I've put links in the description for if you want to follow the channel's Twitter or Facebook, as well as a link to the channel's Patreon if you'd like to support the channel. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.